What's up, folks? This is Living the Lines, a Fivefold Media production. This week we got with us up here Justin Bouldin. He's a Middle Tennessee musician and been spending a lot of his time down on Broadway in downtown Nashville. Man, it had been a minute since I'd seen you around.
Yeah.
Till the last time we run into each other, it was about 3-4 weeks ago. We were down there shooting your show. You was playing at Honky Tonk Central. They keep you pretty busy down there, don't they?
Yeah, dude, they keep us as busy as possible, honestly, especially for slow season. We're grateful to have the work that we've got going on right now.
Man. Kind of like, what's a typical week look like for you down there? Are they keeping you down there multiple times every week?
Yeah, usually we're playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Well, no, we usually got Thursdays off sometimes now. Friday, Saturday usually good, but yeah, mostly like 6-7 days a week.
Yeah, man. So kind of for people who don't understand, like Nashville, Broadway in downtown is one of the only places I've ever seen that's like what that thing is down there. It's like a living, breathing
It's redneck's
beast.
paradise, man.
I guess Bourbon. I've been to Bourbon Street, and it's somewhat comparable in New Orleans, but there's nothing like.
See, that's what my guitar player and bass player, they're both from Louisiana, so they all did a bunch of.
They know all about that.
They know Bourbon Street, man, but they said Nashville, there ain't nothing.
There's
like
nothing.
it.
I've been to Austin, to Fort Worth, and I've never found anything like that down there, man. Yeah. Tell us about how you kind of got started in music.
Well, I come from a big music family.
Right. Where are you from originally?
McMinnville, Tennessee.
Okay, so Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee, born and raised. Lived all over though, like Florida, but mainly from my grandparents' side, my uncles and aunts, they always play music or sung. Right. So everybody in my family was always musical.
Yep.
I'd always go to my grandparents' house and sit on my grandpa's bed, play the mandolin or the banjo, or pick his guitar up. When I was in there, I was learning banjo and everything by ear. I just picked up the Deliverance, that little tune. And my grandma, she looked at my grandpa and said, "Carl, he's too young to be watching that movie."
Yeah.
They thought I was in there watching that movie. I was a little kid, and he walked in there, and it was just me on the bed playing the banjo. He said, "No, see, that ain't the movie. That's him." So it was always that, yeah, man. Just my family growing up in church, playing in church.
Country,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
a lot of bluegrass
big
stuff.
gospel bluegrass, and man.
Was y'all playing like the jamborees and the picker parties and stuff?
A couple parties
with
and
your
stuff,
family
yeah.
and stuff.
Oh yeah, always in church, big get-togethers and stuff like that, or Christmas time, Thanksgiving, we'd all sit around a big circle, with guitars and all.
So guitar's your primary instrument?
Yeah, I started out as a drummer actually.
Okay.
Yep.
That's been a common thing on this thing, man. Several people we've had, they're like, "Well, I play guitar, but I started out on drums."
Yeah.
It seems odd to me.
It's kind of, well, I mean, I guess it's kind of how you get your sense of rhythm right there.
People need a drummer. When did you get your first guitar?
I was probably 9 years old.
Yeah.
9 years old.
Was there a period in there where you're like, okay, this is what I want to do?
Oh man, straight from the
top.
From the top.
Yeah.
I grew up watching 2 shows with my grandparents, and I loved them. It was Hee Haw and Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up on. So it was.
That's interesting, man, because you're a younger guy. To have those influences.
Oh yeah, Chet Atkins.
I think is a lot of things that those younger guys in your age bracket are missing, because they didn't grow up watching Hee Haw and the Dukes of Hazzard and seeing Waylon on there, So I think that's probably an advantage for you. We ran into each other for the first time up in Sean Burton's open mic at Holly J's or whatever. It's been through a dozen different things.
A long way since then.
Yeah, man, that's one of the first times I ever met you and saw you play, and I've always enjoyed your style and listening to you sing and stuff. Especially like you done a John Mayer song I always loved you doing it. I can't help myself when I'm
I
with
don't
you.
trust myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I had never heard
That's
that
fun.
song
That's a good
before
one.
until you done it.
Oh, really?
And I listened to John Mayer do it, but I'm like, man, I kind of wish I could get Justin to just cut that song for me so I can have it.
Dude, honestly, that would be a good song to cut. That's a
Yeah,
fun
dude,
one.
you killed it. I remember me and my dad was sitting up there because me and Tom and Michael and all, we were all running around up there. And you were playing a Chris Stapleton song, and I had my back to the stage, and he said, he sounds just like Chris Stapleton. I said, I think that's the radio. He was like, I'm sitting here watching him sing right now. I was like, damn, hell yeah. So you kind of keep the same group of guys together down there on Broadway,
Yeah.
which is uncommon for most of those
Yeah,
people,
we try to
right?
keep everything together. You know, we found a good fit.
Right.
And we're like, man, we gotta stick with it because, like you said, there's not many bands that actually make it down there.
Yeah, that's
that
not a
actually stick
priority, or
together.
it's not a requirement that you have a band together. Those guys are kind of just picking up whoever most
Pretty
of the
much,
time,
yeah.
right?
Most bands that you see down there, they're guys that are just hired guns. They'd be like, oh, hey, are you available for this show today? It's not ever really a consistent band that's actually playing one spot.
What was kind of the process of getting going down there and getting your band and stuff together?
So April 4th of last year, I did an audition over at Tootsie's. So like every Saturday they do an open mic audition, and if you get the call back, you're supposed to have like 3 songs,
Right.
like that you can do like Broadway standards, something like that. So you get up there, you do your songs. If you get the call back, you go to Kid Rocks that Monday morning, or the following Monday, and you go pretty much meet up with Scott Collier, and you find your band from there. They put you, if you don't have a band already, you go there and you find your band. And
Scott Collier's kind of like the head guy down
yeah,
there.
he's the one kind of running the show.
Kind of running the Broadway music scene.
Yep.
Maybe not for all of those bars though, right? It's just a little collection of them, kind of.
It's its own circuit right there. You've got Tootsie's, Rippy's, Honky Tonk Central, and Kid Rocks. Those are all right there, the Tootsie circuit.
Right. So you found your band going to the Monday meetings and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a couple Mondays to go down there, but eventually they came in at the same time that I did one day, and they put us up there together. I was looking for a band, and it was my guitar player now, my bass player now, and we had another drummer, a different drummer. He was their buddy from Louisiana that they brought up. They moved all the way up from Louisiana just to kind of chase a dream.
Yeah, man.
And they were already playing with one guy, but it wasn't going too well, so they went to the Monday morning meeting. And that's where they put us up together, man, and we've just been hitting it ever since.
A band dynamic's tough, man.
Oh, yeah. Like
It's very tough.
we got up there and played one song, and they was like, you guys are good.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, how long have y'all been playing together? We're like, this is our first time. Like,
Song number one.
Yeah, song number 1 right here. They're like, well, you guys are ready. We're putting you to work next week. And I was like, okay. Later on that day, I got a call. It's like, okay, no, we're putting you to work this Saturday. So you guys are getting to work, so get ready. Get a rehearsal in, get a couple rehearsals in, get a good set list going.
So how long did it take you to kind of get the set list down, you know? Or did you already kind of have that together?
Kind of, but man, there's so many like Broadway standards.
Yeah, dude. It seems for me like I can't even remember my own songs.
Oh, dude, we learned probably about 75, 80 songs within like 3 days.
Yeah. Just went to work and
Yeah,
just
dude, we
fell
did.
into it and didn't stop.
Nope, no stopping, man. We'd sit there with the in-ears, we'd listen to it with the track, and then play it right over.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was a lot of work, but you know what?
Yeah, a lot of work.
We got a good product now.
I think that Broadway thing can kind of get a bad rap sometimes. But if you have a band that you're keeping together, dude, it's so great because it's steady work. It's keeping your guy. That's one of the hardest things about keeping a band together is keeping guys fed. You know, I mean, everybody's trying to stay afloat.
It is,
You know,
yeah.
you can't expect a band to stay together when you ain't really got shit going on. You know,
Exactly.
So you can kind of use that to your advantage to just grow and get tighter and tighter and tighter, and you know, branch off from that when you get ready. Or the way you're talking about, tell us about your tips you had last night, because I don't know that you'd want to do much branching off if they were putting that kind of money in my tip bucket.
Yeah, I mean, we had these nice cats from Texas. I think they're from the Houston area. So they came over and she had
Cartel
it,
money.
she had it on her on her phone on like Venmo, and it said $1,000, and I was like, "Are you sure?" Like I tapped my co-front, and I was like, "Hey, go over and talk to her," you know, and man, they ended up putting in 500 on Venmo and then like $1,000 cash just to play like 7, 8 songs that we did, and we closed out the show for them. I was like, any song that you guys want, like it's yours. Played Freebird. They wanted Freebird, so I was like, yep, that's yours. You got it.
It blows my mind, man. When we were down there shooting your content at your show, those people paid you $300 to play Pink Pony.
Oh, dude.
Like
I don't
3
care-
times.
I
in
don't
a
care if
row.
I ever hear that song again.
I
man.
understand, but it's such a crazy dynamic, man, because, you know, I've played a lot of dive bars and run around and stuff, and you just never see stuff like that anywhere else.
No, at the dive bars, man, it's a whole lot different. It's, you know, you're kind of having a different setting at the dive bars. You got more of like an intimate
It's a
setting.
whole different crowd,
Yeah,
man.
it is. It is.
Something about when you charge $6.75 for beer, it just brings in a different group of people, you know?
$9 too. I mean, for the good
Yeah,
ones.
man. Me and McGregor, we were down at Co-Wetzel at Ascend, and I bought 2 16-ounce tall boys, and they were like, "That's $40-something."
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
what
like,
happened to me at the hockey game.
Yeah.
It's like tall boys. Just spent $60 on beer.
Growing up in McMinnville, man, it's kind of country over there. You grew up
Oh
in the
man, there
country,
ain't nothing but nurseries and rodeos down there.
Yeah. Do you enjoy that downtown city nightlife, or is it just a means to an end?
It's just a means to an end. Honestly, I love the country. I love being out, and
It's got to be exciting
neighbors,
being
yeah.
down there and just.
it is. It is.
We always talk about we're so lucky to live where we live because we have access to everything down there, but we can get the hell out of Dodge as
you
soon
got the
as
peace
we
and
get
quiet.
ready to, you know. One thing about downtown to me that nobody ever talks about, and this has been in every big city that I've ever been in, is just how horrible it smells a lot of times.
Oh, dude, that's
It's
the worst
like
thing about it.
when you take videos and pictures, it looks so cool with the neon and the lights and all that.
It
But
is.
like if you're
but
standing there,
if it was a scratch and sniff,
oh, it's terrible, man.
Dude, it was-
Bourbon Street was the worst. It literally seemed like there was raw sewage
that's what all
going
my
down the
guys
side,
said.
man. What's some of the craziest, strangest things you've seen down there? I'm sure there's got to be some just.
Well, yesterday we had like some dude and this lady like doing the splits right in front of each other. Like they're both doing the splits right right on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, that was during Freebird.
Yeah. Any
So
good
that
bar
was-
fights?
and,
They carrying people out of there pretty often.
I've not had any crazy stuff like that happen. We did have somebody drop some pepper spray at one of our shows. We had a packed house too. We had a packed house, and somebody either dropped it or they like let their drunk boyfriend like get a hold of her keys and sprayed it.
Yeah.
But everybody just starts coughing. I'm wondering, and I went down to the bar. I got off stage, went to go get me something to drink, and I look around, everybody's like covering their mouth, coughing. I was like, what is going on? And then I start coughing. My nose starts burning. I'm like, what is happening? I thought we was getting attacked or something.
Yeah. Anthrax.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Growing up around like bluegrass and stuff, was there a point whenever your musical taste like started to shift and you started to like kind of want to explore other?
Man, yeah, probably like when I was.
What were some of the stuff you was like listening to and some early influences, you know, of your own that you kind of found organically, you know?
So like some of the things that I listened to, really what I gravitated towards right after like I got out of the country kick was the blues.
Oh yeah,
So
man.
Stevie Ray Vaughan, Albert King, Freddie King, B.B. King,
Yeah.
like
All the
all the
kings.
kings. Eric
Burger
Clapton,
King,
that's-
Tiger King.
Yeah, man, but the blues is what I really gravitated towards, and it was something that I could.
I love all that stuff, man. And I hate that there's not as many good spots to do that. We were shooting a bunch of content down at the Underdog in East Nashville the other night,
That's a good spot.
We've done
It's
it.
right
Yeah,
by my
dude.
house.
It's the first time we'd ever been there. Creed Fisher shot a video there. That's how I kind of heard about it, and then we ended up being there 2 days later. But we were shooting some content for a girl down there, and the band that was on before them was like this jazz, blues, funk type
East
of thing,
Nashville,
man.
dude, is full of like improv jazz musicians. Like,
Yeah.
they love it in
And
East Nashville. It's cool.
I would go back and see them again. You know, you don't run into a lot of folks that you're like, you see so much music, you know, it's hard to find stuff that really resonates with you, you know, sometimes. But those guys were incredible, man. And I think it was more just the fact that they were doing something completely different than I've heard around town in a long time, man. I know that stuff's out there. You just have to.
You just gotta, you gotta go to the right spots. East Nashville's full of that, though. That's what I love about East. Like, it's kind of out of the city, but you've got, you know, still some city aspects to it.
Yeah. That D's Cocktail Lounge, it's kind of one of the Nashville staples,
Oh,
you
dude, I
know,
love
the
that place.
real musicians bars,
Yeah.
you know.
It's more like of an original showcase place right there.
You recently got out of the city though, and tell me about Montana.
Oh,
Are you
man.
just getting back?
Yeah,
When
I
did you
just
get back.
Sunday. I got back Sunday. Hell, on my way there, I flew out that Wednesday before. So I played a show Tuesday night from 10 p.m. to 2:30 in the morning.
On Broadway.
On Broadway at Tootsie's.
Yeah.
And then went home, got me something to eat, changed my guitar over to my hard case, and then headed to the airport. Like, it was right there, and I stayed up for probably like 36 hours.
What's the late night Justin
tired.
Bouldin pre-flight meal looking like?
Oh,
Taco Bell.
Yeah, I think I was at Taco Bell, and then I was like half drunk standing in the airport and just jamming out at Starbucks waiting on some coffee. Honestly, I was just
What part did y'all go to? Like, was y'all had a tour out there, or just a one-off gig?
It was just
or-
me up there. I was doing a.
Oh, it was just you? You didn't
yeah.
take? Okay, I thought you took your band with you.
We planned to go up there actually in the summertime or the spring. So that would be real fun to have the full band up there.
Yeah, dude.
We flew in. I flew into Bismarck, North Dakota, and then we drove into Glendive, Montana. I played a little bar called the Wagon Wheel. It's pretty cool, and I did a 50th birthday party for some of our Montana friends.
Oh, like a private party.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know people out there. That's
Yeah,
kinda how that
Tyler
originated.
Anderson. He introduced me to him.
Okay, cool, man. You rent a car and fly and drive.
Oh
from,
man, they actually
they
came and picked me up. They gave me a place to stay. Like, they take good care of us up in
I've
Montana. I'm
always
always
said-
grateful to go up there.
One of the perks of being a musician and stuff is it's like the closest thing you can get to being like a hot chick.
That is true.
You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
just get treated just a little bit better than the normal people.
Yep.
And I think that's a little bit of the addiction to some of it, you know, because it can be as much a curse
is.
as a blessing.
It is, man. They're honestly, there isn't no high like it. I don't think.
Had you ever been that far west before?
No, that's as furthest I've been.
Is it culture shock, or I've never been to
No,
Montana.
I mean, not really. North Dakota was different, but it was really cool. So we were on a Indian reservation over there. We went to, so I played Thursday and Friday. Saturday night we went to North Dakota and went to a casino, watched Great White and Slaughter, like some 80s hair bands.
Okay.
It was cool, man.
Yeah.
But up there, it's just all Native Americans, and it was a big like history lesson too, like where Chief Sitting Bull was, I believe.
Right.
And that movie, The Revenant. You ever seen that? Yeah. So where he got mauled by the bear, it didn't happen up in the mountains. It happened right there. Like we've seen right over the river that he floated down on.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Man, that's one of the things I love about it too, is just getting out and experiencing things that you would just never really have an opportunity to experience, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're playing music and you're going out to these gigs and stuff, it kind of gives you a reason other than just being a tourist, you know, and seeking out. You end up in unique spots that, you know, it's just part of it. Sometimes I kind of ask people if they had to make a go of making music somewhere else other than Nashville, where would they go? But you kind of have a unique perspective on this because you went to Florida and spent some time
Yeah.
playing the scene down there.
Yeah, that was a
And
wild
I hadn't
time.
really caught up with you since all then.
No, nobody has really.
Yeah,
I kind
I
of went
hadn't
down there and
Yeah.
did my own thing.
Until we
disappeared for a
saw
little
you the
while.
other night, I hadn't really got a chance to catch up. So, kind of, what was it like being down there? Was it a pretty good deal, or
It
was it
it
just
was
kinda,
fun. I was down there to take care of my dad, you know. But when I left, you guys knew me playing with Changing Direction. I was
Right.
playing with them. We just did a battle of the bands, took first place.
Right.
There was a guy that offered me a recording contract that night, but that was my last show with the band, so I had to go turn that down, and then I moved down to Florida to take care of my dad because he was in a motorcycle accident.
Right.
So I helped him learn how to walk again for like 3 years down there, and I helped him out, and he got better. So I was like, Dad, you know, it's time for me to work on me. Like, you got this. You're married again. I was like, it's time for me to go back home.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, this is home for you, but it's not home for me.
Right. What was the music scene like down there?
Oh, dude, it was fun. Honestly,
on the
it was
beach,
wild.
or-
I was kind of close to the beach. I played
Because
a lot
I think
of
I
shows
remember
on the
seeing a
beach.
lot of your social media posts and stuff. It seemed like you were staying as busy down there.
Oh,
you
dude,
know?
every week, yeah, staying just as busy. Playing at a lot of places on the water. That was fun. Played on a pontoon
love those
boat.
places,
We had like 400 boats around us. Like, played out on the flats on the Gulf. It was really cool.
You're just doing covers and stuff?
Yeah, just cover band
Same
stuff.
kind of
like,
deal
I
as
mean,
you-
yeah. I would go to a bunch of like open jams and stuff like that. So we would have a good time.
There's a little bit more opportunities to play the blues down there, too.
Oh, it's a big blues scene down there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got a chance to actually play at the Tampa Bay Blues Festival.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I kind of wonder about some of that stuff sometimes getting there, because you start getting down Atlanta and, you know, Florida and on down there a little bit further, there's these little pockets, you know, there's nothing like Nashville, of course.
Right.
But there's also something about Nashville, if you ain't got, you know, a real captivating personality, it's hard to stick out.
Right.
You know, it's just hard to
You got to be out
wade
going.
through
Yeah.
You can almost go to some of these other smaller scenes and maybe carve out a more of a niche for you. I heard a guy talking about Muscle Shoals. He was like, if you feel like Nashville is oversaturated for you, or Austin or whatever, he said there's a full-fledged music scene in Muscle Shoals, and it's original music. There's dozens of studios down there that are working. There's plenty of opportunities, you know. I hear people all the time talking about moving to Nashville, and I'm just like, I never give people advice because what do I know? But like it leans to my opinion being don't do it, you know, because it's just
That's what I said for the longest time. And
People
you
don't
know what? That's what I
understand
told
how
a lot of
expensive it is.
people. And then I found myself moving to Nashville, and I was like, okay, you know what? It's time to do it. If I'm gonna do it, I got to do it.
Yeah. Do you spend any time on original music?
Oh yeah, I've been writing quite a lot here lately. I just finished probably like 3 songs.
Right.
I got a song called Hard to Quit. Another one is called She Loves the Honky Tonk. That's a good old-fashioned honky tonk song. And I wrote a song for my dad. It was called If It Wasn't For My Father.
Okay. So have you been writing a while, or is this kind of something you're just trying to get
Yeah,
developed over the past few years?
I've been writing since I was probably like 18, 19, something like that.
Yeah. What is kind of, how do you approach it? You just kind of, do you have a writing process, or, you know, you just kind of sit down, or you get an idea and write on paper, or, you know, everybody's kind of thing's different.
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather write on paper than like type it in my phone.
Yeah.
I'm old-fashioned. I try to write it down if I can remember it, you know. But I'll constantly have stuff come in like a line. I'll be like, oh, that's cool, and just jot that down real quick. I got a whole notebook just full of stuff, man.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, you know. It's keeping your antennas in the air.
It really
and just,
is.
And you can't lie to yourself and go, oh, I'll remember that. Like, you have to.
Oh yeah,
write
every
it
time I
down.
do that,
It's gone.
Gone.
It's gone. And sometimes, like, I write with my voice recorder a lot of times.
Yeah.
Just because I can't get it wrote down.
I'll do the same.
Fast enough before it's gone, you know. Going back and listening to that, I've probably got 1,000 voice memos. On my
Yeah,
phone, just
me too.
humming melodies or whatever, you know. And like, I think sometimes I'm like, one day I'm going to dig back through that, and then I'm like, I'm probably not ever going to, because it's so tough to listen to some of that stuff back, you know. What direction do you kind of see you and your guys going over the next year or so? Are you kind of pursuing? You're doing your solo thing, but do you see yourself with the guys that you're with now, kind of branching out from the cover band
For
thing
sure.
and doing original direction?
Yeah, that's what we're kind of working on right now. We're working on just like, if we do want to like do original stuff, we'll do artist shows, but kind of for Broadway, we've got our own thing going on. You know,
That's keeping the wheels.
that's
turning,
just, that's our moneymaker right there. And then, but if we want to do like original showcases and stuff like that, I'll always call these cats.
What would be your wildest tour lineup featuring yourself and with any artists living or gone?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay. Featuring myself too as well?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
How many do I get?
Just as many as you
many as I
want,
want?
brother.
I would definitely have to say Stevie Ray Vaughan.
All the kings.
All the kings.
Just every great blues player that's
Yep,
ever.
That's it.
Hell yeah, man.
I would have to say Chris Stapleton. We'll do Stevie Ray Vaughan. Let's just pick one more.
Can you imagine Chris Stapleton and Stevie Ray
That would be insane.
jamming together
That would
and
be
doing
insane.
an encore or something? It would be insanity, bro. Like it would be, you couldn't hardly even comprehend it, really.
And the Grateful Dead.
Okay.
That would be-
Deadhead, huh?
A little bit, man.
Yeah.
I love their stuff. I would love to go see one of their live shows.
Right. What have you been listening to lately?
Man, lately,
What's on your playlist? Or after being around so much music all
I've
the
been
time,
listening
do
to a
you
lot of
really
Zach
even
Talk.
listen to music?
oh yeah, I listen to like Billy Strings.
Okay. He's been in Nashville all weekend.
Actually, yeah, that was one of our tips yesterday. This guy got Billy Strings' pick
Damn.
from the show. Like he flung it out there and caught it, and he gave it to me at the show at Layla's yesterday. I was like, man, I'm keeping this. I'm gonna frame it.
Right. Hell
So it was
yeah.
cool. It's weird. It's a weird pick. It's velvet. It's like a velvet thin pick.
Really?
Yeah. It's honestly uglier than hell.
Well, that's interesting. He's got a unique story, man. Like I
does.
would have never, because I kind of started doing that little flat picking. You know, that's what I started cutting my teeth on, learning flat picking, licks and all bluegrass tunes and stuff. And I just would have never seen Billy Strings take, because people from all walks of life enjoy his stuff.
Exactly.
And it just,
It's
and like
music for
Marcus
everybody.
King. Marcus King is huge right now.
That's another one I would have on the
I was
lineup
wondering
right there.
if
I
you
was
were
about to
hip
say.
to Marcus
Oh,
King. I
yeah,
figured.
dude.
But like he's got a pretty huge following, and I just never would have thought, that style of music would be popping again, man.
It is, honestly, I think blues is
Waiting
making
for
a
the blues
comeback.
resurgence, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
telling
coming.
you, that's what I'm waiting on.
It's coming. Well, Lucas Nelson, he's got some good music. Willie Nelson's son. Yeah.
I love Lucas Nelson. Man, I think that you got anything else you want to push? Tell them about you got coming up. What do you got? You got shows coming up, or
Yeah, we're going to be at Tootsie's this Monday and Tuesday, 10 p.m. to 2:30 in the morning. Monday and Tuesday in the back room. That'll be fun. Come out and see us.
y'all didn't have to start on those 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
We did,
You
we did, boy.
Those are terrible, man.
We played the shit out of them.
I wonder if those are worse or better than the 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. though.
The Friday 10 a.m. Friday morning at Tootsie's Roof was always a good show, honestly. We'd have a bunch of people come in.
Right.
They'd just be there to get day drunk, and
Yeah.
man, it was always a good time.
Yeah, there's a little different. Those day drunk people seem like a little easier to deal with than those 2 a.m.
oh, yeah.
nocturnal creatures.
They were wild last night. They were wild. The nocturnal ones. The freaks come out at night.
Yeah. Do you run into like much negativity down there as far as like where you kind of got to watch yourself? Because Nashville's always been a very safe city, but I hear a lot of rumblings coming from down there that things are not as peachy as maybe some of the people want to make it out to be. They say you kind of got to watch your back down there.
You do got to watch your back down there.
Now maybe not on the right on the Strip and Broadway, though, right? They
I
kinda
mean,
keep it-
sometimes.
Oh, really?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes. Because you never know what will happen down
Right.
there. Because you got people from all walks of life down there.
Yeah.
And you never know how drunk they are or what their intentions are. So you just got to really just keep your wits about you down there.
Yeah. I've been down there more in the past month than I have in the past 10 years, probably. We were running around down there heavy back in like 2012 and so, and it was crazy down there then. But
Oh,
it's
yeah,
on
yeah.
a whole other
The
level
way that
now,
it's
man.
grown, though, over the years, between, I seen a picture of the skyline like 2014 to 2024, and it was, man, they've added 20 more skyscrapers.
Yeah. When that flood come through, it's like they just flushed it.
Oh, yeah,
and
that
it
was
just a
2010,
whole,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
just
Yeah.
a whole new flow of stuff coming in, man. Well, shout out your band name is JB and the High Riders.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was
JB
checking
and
y'all
the
out
High
on
Riders.
the Instagram. I love your logo, dude. It's like a
Thank
horse
you.
skeleton. It's pretty awesome. Who done
Thank
that?
We just hired somebody off
Yeah.
of Fiverr.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally cool, man. Where can people find you and keep up with you? Facebook? You on TikTok?
You can find
and all
me
that?
on Facebook, yeah, Justin Bouldin. You can find me on Instagram, Justin Bouldin Music. TikTok, I believe it's the same, Justin Bouldin Music or J Bouldin Music.
Yep. JB and the High Riders
That's
for
right,
the band.
JB and the High Riders.
I think that's it, guys. Until we see y'all again, peace.
Thank you.